And so one of the other things that I'm going to kind of skip through a little bit quick is the Lord's been speaking to me about the importance of forgiveness. And he said that it's very important for us to forgive people. And sometimes he's going to ask us to forgive people that have really hurt us in the past, and even give them a hand and help them up. Just as Jesus hanging on the cross, it was the ones who crucified him that he was rescuing when the centurion servant, when the guard knelt down and said he was the Son of God. You know, here he was used by the enemy to crucify Jesus, and Jesus rescued him from going to hell. He says many times it's going to be those that have hurt you in the past that I'm going to ask you to give a hand out to and a hand up to help them out during this time. And he said, be like my son Jesus. Be like Jesus and lift them up. And then I'm going to number 10, and he talked about the prodigals. He said, my children are being called and gathered into my arms and into my kingdom. As prodigals return, receive each one, even if they caused you great harm. So he was again repeating that same message that he had spoken the day before. This is why, this is not the way the prodigal's brother received him. You know the story of the prodigal son? The brother was, here the son comes back, he's sorry, the father embraces him, forgives him, restores him completely, throws a party, and the elder son's, I'm not going to that party. He's not celebrating with his brother that came back. And he said, don't receive the prodigals like the elder son did. He said, do not imitate his hostile behavior, but be like the father who received him with open arms and an open heart. So God's saying this is the hour the prodigals are going to be returning. We've been praying for the prodigals to return, huh? We've been praying, God, bring them back. Well, when they come back, some of these people that are going to come back really hurt us or hurt our loved ones. And God's saying, don't receive them the way the elder brother did, with a hostile heart. Receive them like the father did.
Yes, that's a good word.
Yes. He said, people are influenced by evil spirits and whatnot. Don't judge one another. And then when as the father was saying this, I never saw this parable this way, was that here, this elder brother, I always thought, oh boy, he's such an angry little guy. I just not giving that much thought. Pretty bitter. But I didn't realize, here's, when you look at his side of it, his brother leaves him. He's left to do all the chores, all the workloads on him. Here he sees his father brokenhearted, that he loves his father, and he's watching his father suffer because his brother took all his inheritance and went off loose living and squanders it. And he sees his father with this broken heart. He's left to console and comfort his father, watching how his brother abused his father. Now the brother comes back, all sorry. The father's rejoicing. The brother's like, I'm not forgiving him. I know what he did to you. Look what he did to me. So I knew that God was showing me that this is the hour we're coming into. Many, many, many prodigals are going to be returning. He told me, he said, this was a month or so ago, that he said, during this time that you're in right now, the prodigal nation, your nation, United States of America, is going to return to me like the prodigal son returned to the father. He said, my prodigal nation is going to come back to me. And he said, one of the signs I'm going to give you that this is happening, he said, in the past, I had rainbows in the sky and cloud formations as a sign of what I'm speaking, as a prophetic sign saying, yes, I'm speaking, you're hearing me. He said, one of the signs I'm going to give is that there's going to be many prodigals returning home to their families. And that's going to be a sign that I'm speaking, and I'm saying not only are the prodigals returning, but the prodigal nation, the United States of America, is returning to me. From that point, it was like maybe 1 or 2 days later was our church service on a Friday night. People started standing up, giving testimonies about prodigal grandchildren, children, brothers, sisters returning. And it's been ongoing since then. So the prodigals are returning. It's a sign from heaven that the United States is going to return. So the grace is there right now for many prodigals to be returned. And God's saying, let me give you a heads up. Some of the ones that are going to be returning are people that have hurt you or hurt your loved ones and really harmed you in your life. And I'm going to ask you not just to embrace them and receive them with a loving heart, but also give them a hand up too if they need some help.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a lot of self-sacrifice,
Love.
a lot of patience,
Love.
right? A lot of the fruit of the Spirit coming off of us.
That? The only place we can get that kind of love, that self-sacrificing love, is spending time alone, abiding in him, spending time every day in his presence, wrapped up in his love, receiving his love. So then when the prodigals return, we've got the love we need to give them because we've received it from him alone in our prayer time. That's why it's essential right now that we spend time with the Lord, because there's going to be a big shakeup, big transformation, big changes coming. And he wants to use the remnant, not just to birth this thing, but now we're going to be gathering them in. We're going to be equipping them, mentoring them, raising them up, training them, releasing them. And it's going to take that heart of love. But we can only get it spending time with him.
Yes.
Cool?
Yeah, beautiful. So true.